I wish I was never born. I was just sitting here thinking, I'm recording this at about 10 a.m. on a weekday, and I have no reason to even be awake. There's no reason for me to have woken up this morning. Most people, they go through their lives, they're happy as a kid, they're happy as a teenager, and I know not every normie succeeds and finds a grand happiness throughout their adult life, but it seems like most of the people around me, most of the normies I see out in public, walking around, having dinner with their loved ones, their spouses, their kids, their family, people look relatively happy. Or at the very least, it looks like everybody else has some happiness, some joy in some parts of their life. But me, it's 10 a.m. on a weekday. What joy do I have? I have no responsibilities, no reason to even wake up today or any day. Nobody depends on me, so I don't really have any incentive to actually try to find success in any way. I mean, I think my dad will pretty much just let me live here forever, so it's a good thing and a bad thing, but I mean, I guess it's better than being on the street. Because even if I did have some incentive to really buckle down, find a job, start working, and make a success out of my life, it wouldn't matter. Even if I tried, because I have tried before, and I always fail at everything I do. I know if you've been keeping up with my channel, then you already know this is something I say a lot, that I'm just a failure. And yeah, even as far back as I can remember to when I was a little kid, I never felt like I had the same joy that other kids have. I've just never had it. I had the rare moment of happiness as a child, which usually was the result of just having fun playing a video game by myself. Because Lord knows I didn't have too much fun, usually when I was around other kids that didn't understand me, that laughed at everything I said, that made fun of me if I ever, any time, mentioned something that interests me, or I just said some offhand remark that is somehow just gravely offensive to everybody else in society, and there's no way that I could have known it, and everyone expects me to know these things, but how could I? I was a kid, and now as an adult, it's the same. Anytime I do something, anytime I say something, it's wrong. It doesn't come natural to me like it does everybody else. I mean, it really is like a chicken or the egg situation. Do I have this crippling social anxiety, and that makes me be awkward, and that makes me have weird interests and never know the right thing to say? Or is it because of my life experiences always doing and saying the wrong thing that other people just don't like, and just being a person that other people just don't want around, and the constant rejection and failure with everything I do? Is it all that over time and my learned experiences through all that failure and rejection, is that what led me to have this crippling social anxiety? Have I developed the social anxiety as a coping mechanism? It's probably a little bit of both, because both of these mechanisms feed off each other. So I'm sure it's a little bit of both, but who cares? And I think about, like, right now, why am I saying all this? Why am I recording this video? I'm going to record this, then I'm going to edit it together with some gameplay footage. I'm going to upload it to YouTube with some stupid title. I'm going to make some stupid ass clickbait thumbnail. I'm going to post it up, and then nobody's going to watch it. And then I'm going to look at the YouTube stats again. I'm going to look at the analytics again and see that nobody's watching it. And even the few views I do get, The average watch time is probably, 5% of the actual length of the video. Why am I doing this? Because nobody's even listening. I mean, I guess it is for me, but damn, it sucks. And it's not like, I'm not trying to make this channel, I'm not trying to make a living off this channel. This channel will probably never even be monetized. Because of the content of this channel, I don't even know that it's monetizable. And if it is, the ad revenue from this from this type of content would be extremely low. But whatever, that's beside the point. I'm here right now, so I guess there is something that drives me to always at least do something. And I guess that's why I'm doing this. Because it is pointless. It is pointless. I know y'all, whoever's listening to this, you might think of this as me doing a form of therapy, talking it out, ranting into the void, that's kind of therapy for myself. But let me tell you, after doing this for a little while, it's not helping. This isn't doing anything for me psychologically, mentally, or anything. It doesn't make me feel better, really. It's just sit here talking about my failures, reminding myself of every little rejection I've had throughout my life, and it sucks. Because all of this comes naturally to everybody else. I've never been able to make friends, maintain a close friendship. I've never been able to connect with other people. I've never been able to relate to other people. Because it's not just everything that I say and I do seems offensive to other people. It's that all the things that everyone around me says and does, I don't really understand them either. So I can't expect them to understand me. We can't relate to each other because I'm not like other people. And I don't mean that in a good way. If God is real, then he created me as some sort of cruel experiment. Because there would be no other reason to create this one fucked up person like this amongst a sea of everybody else that can all relate to each other and be normal and exist together as a functioning society. And then there's me, just a wrench thrown into the cogs of society to grind it screeching to a halt whenever anybody else comes across me. That metaphor really broke down at the end, but whatever. I'm not good at talking, so whatever. I already know that. I know it's cliche to say, oh, I wish I was never born, but I really do. I actually wish I was never born. And while I'm here, there is something inside me that drives me to always do something and not just completely lay down and rot. And I don't know what it is because I probably should. I mean, I might as well just lay down and rot. So, if there was a button I could press to make me just disappear from the face of the earth, I probably would not do it. But I wish that wasn't a decision that I could even make, because I wish I was never even born. But I can't blame my parents, A lot of people in my position would turn to antinatalism, which is the belief that nobody should have children, that nobody should bring another life into this cruel world. But I can't really blame my parents because they're normal people. They have ups and downs in life. They couldn't have imagined that they would be giving birth to a absolutely fucked up human specimen that wouldn't have ups and downs in life. No, a person that only has downs in life. It's one constant down. My life is at the bottom and it stays at the bottom. The biggest peak I can get in my life is small, very temporary dopamine rushes that I get from maybe having a couple beers and listening to a song I like. But more and more lately, I don't even enjoy listening to music. I get a little bit of a dopamine rush when I check my YouTube analytics and see some people have watched my videos, but it's not much. Maybe I'd get a bigger rush if if I was getting more views. But again, it's whatever. I mean, this channel from the start has really been more about me, but There's something in my brain that can't help but want more. And maybe that's kind of the source of all my sorrow and all my numbness. It's because I do compare myself to others, you know. I look around and I can see other people having success, everyone around me being happy, successful, and not necessarily wildly successful. Not everyone's Bill Gates, but I see people around me just living a normal life, and that sounds pretty damn good. To me, right about now, a normal life, that sounds like heaven compared to my situation. Because there's nothing normal about this. There's nothing normal about waking up on a weekday and having no reason to get out of bed. There's nothing normal about every waking second of your life being filled with numbness and sorrow. The thoughts of what could have been, the thoughts of just utter rejection with every memory, the thoughts of utter failure whenever I think, hey, maybe I will do something. No, the thought that I'll fail almost always wins over in the end. And if it doesn't, and I do try to do that thing, failure is what happens. There was a time in my life where maybe I had some hope, where actually maybe I had some potential, where actually maybe I could have ascended, maybe I could have been more normal. I could have maybe lived a normal life. And it's my own fault all that's gone. To some degree, you know, I lost my hair and I don't think that's all my fault. Although, hey, maybe it was because I was using drugs at a young age, drinking, smoking. Maybe it's all that, plus all the stress I feel from all my rejection, all the rejection I face. Maybe it is all that contributed to me losing my hair at such an early age. Because I was noticeably going bald at around 19 years old. By the time I was 22, 23, I was bald already. So I don't know what it is. But really, I really do, and I'm not just saying this, I wish I was never born. I do wish that. But yeah, I can't blame my parents because they're normies, you know. They thought their son could live a happy life or at least have some happiness in his life, but they didn't know what they were giving birth to. They didn't know that the worst possible combination of both of their DNA, would combine to create me, would combine to create an utter failure of a person. I really am a waste of the space that I inhabit. While I'm here, on this planet, I see no reason to leave it. I'm gonna keep on living. I might as well. Cause I still have copes. I mean, every now and then there will be a fun video game. I like to watch movies, so I guess I get a little bit of something out of watching a good movie. It's at least something I can say I enjoy to some extent. Although, man, it's like even watching movies, and let me know if it's like this for you guys, but sometimes when I'm watching a movie and I just see, especially if there's like young people in love or something like that in the movie, it's so brutal. Because then it's just watching a fantasy, something that I can never have, something I know I will never have. Love, someone that cares about me in the same way that I care about them. I know that I can never have that, but I watch movies sometimes where people do have love, and it's just like, man, I wish I didn't watch this. Because that shit's giving me unrealistic expectations. It's tricking my mind into thinking, hey, the normie life is possible. But for me, it's really not. But I mean, I guess watching movies isn't completely unique in that regard because I can just go out to the grocery store and get the same exact feeling when I see all the normies walking around with their families, wives, kids, people smiling, cracking a little joke over in the produce aisle. I was at the grocery store the other day, and there was a young family there, a young couple. with their little kid. The kid was like a toddler, maybe a little bit older than toddler age. And you know, when you walk past the produce, occasionally, every now and then, the misters come on to keep the produce moist. And I remember I saw that happened while this young family was walking down the produce aisle. The misters came on, and the little kid kind of screamed and started laughing, and the man and the woman looked at each other and they kind of smiled to each other and looked at their kid. Their kid was laughing about the water spraying on the produce. I don't know. It's stupid to thinking about shit like that makes me want to cry because I know I'll never have that. But I could just see in that moment when this man and woman looked at each other how happy they were to have each other and how happy they were to have their family. They were really living the dream. But I'm sub 5. I'm sub 5. I'm ugly. I'm bald. I'm a loser too. So I have no status, I have no money, I have no prospects. So while other people get to live that dream, that just pure unadulterated happiness, I see it. I see people experiencing it. Because pretty much everybody else on this damn planet does experience that happiness at some point. But I never will. It's not for me. That's for normies. That's not for people like me. Because I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a whole lot of us sub 5 out there. And for the most part, this is how it is for us. And I look at social media sometimes. I can't help it, I get on Facebook and I start looking up people that I went to high school with, people I knew from elementary school and middle school, and just check out and see what people are up to. And man, I don't recommend doing that because what I just described when I saw the happy family at the grocery store, I get on Facebook and start looking up people I went to high school with, and it's like seeing that over and over and over again with each different profile I look at. I'm in my mid 30s now. Most people I went to high school with, they're married already, they have kids, they have careers, they're damn near in the peak of their careers. Even guys I knew that they're not super successful, maybe they went to trades or they're just working some kind of simple job, but, they got somebody that loves them back home. They've got children. They've got people that depend on them. And I talk a lot on this channel about how I'm demoralized by my past rejections and failures. But believe it or not, I have that natural human craving because I think it's just biological. I have that craving that all men have, that I want to provide for someone. I want someone to depend on me. I want the responsibility. I want some responsibility. I know if it's given to me, I know if, I woke up tomorrow and I had all these things, I know it wouldn't even last because I would lose it all somehow due to a combination of luck and my own stupid decisions that I always make to ruin every goddamn thing in my life. Everything I had that could have been positive ends up being a failure. I can't blame society for all my rejections and failures because I know it's 50% society, it's 50% on me. And I don't even know why I say all this. What's the point? Like, I'm thinking about it right now. I might not even bother editing this or putting it together or whatever. Because this is imagine if like my dad or someone found this. Imagine if they found my channel. That would be humiliating. I don't think it's going to happen because there's not really much of a way anyone would find my channel. Like I live with my dad and he doesn't even use the computer. And he has his own computer. He would, of course, never use my computer, but he doesn't even use his computer, So he can barely even figure out how to open an attachment in an email. So, yeah. But, man, I don't know. What am I here for? What am I doing? It's a comforting thought to think, if you were never born, then you would never have to feel all this stuff. And surely that would be better. But I don't know. There's some small glimmer of hope that I can never erase from my brain that always, and I guess that's the biological imperative to keep surviving. So, whatever, I mean, it's a good thing that's there. But still, man, this world is so brutal. Because I don't fully like, why does society reject me? Why me? Why am I the odd man out? Why am I like this? Why is my life like this? And everyone around me has happiness. Everyone around me can find some success in some way, shape, or form. And I can't. I don't. I get rejected. I get knocked down. I get beat down. And I don't see things changing. I really don't see things changing. I mean, I've pretty much given up at this point. I don't know. This shit sucks, man.